Federal government collaborates with states on creating job opportunities for millions of Nigerian youths.
Using clusters, we will be able to manage the risk that come with giving out facilities to young people.
Osun government distributes tractors to farmers to boost mechanized farming.
We have set our target at this splitter sector, and we are ready to make the required investment.
National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepts narcotic drugs worth 17.9 billion naira in Lagos and Port Harcourt. Hello and welcome to the News Desk at 6. On Nta News24, we're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adigundoye. The federal government has formalized a collaboration with the African Fertilizer and Agribusiness Partnership with a view to improving food security in the country. The initiative was signed under the supervision of the Office of the Vice President and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Musa Baba Ali reports.
The Agricultural Input Resilience Program is designed to identify and address critical challenges of availability, affordability, and quality of essential farm inputs across Nigeria. The program will be implemented under the supervision of the Office of the Vice President and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security.
Our collective aim is to achieve domestic food security, enhance export growth, and create sustainable job opportunities. This initiative aligns seamlessly with the strategic goals of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, where they emphasize the importance of understanding our diverse landscapes through stakeholder mapping.
The signing of this Memorandum of Understanding marked another milestone, symbolizing the collective efforts to strengthen Nigeria's agricultural sector. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, said the program will play a crucial role in shaping future government policies in the area of input supply.
We will begin to now decipher and bring out the core areas of need that the farmers want, and we can begin now to more or less target the people who ought to benefit from what we are doing.
Also, there's a need for more capacity development amongst those who distribute fertilizer. So agri-dealers or agri-retailers, hub agri-dealers have to be capacitated to be able to play more of a role in extension to help the farmers understand what is the appropriate product to be used on the appropriate crop.
The initiative is believed will enable the Nigerian government to leverage partners' expertise to build a more resilient agricultural sector. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
In a major move towards mechanizing agriculture in Osun State, 31 new tractors equipped with full implements have been distributed to farmers by the state government. The governor handed the tractors and other inputs to farmers at the agricultural input supply in the state. Femi Afariogun reports.
The first phase of 31 new tractors with critical farming inputs, which include 60,000 herbicide, 80,000 cashew seedlings, 8,000 cassava cuttings, 8,000 vegetable seedlings, and 50 bags of lime, is to boost crop production in Osun State. These investments are part of a larger vision of Governor Ademola Adeleke to empower Osun youths and ensure that agriculture remains a viable and sustainable industry in the state.
No leader with conscience will be happy that his people are struggling to make ends meet and feed their families. We have set our target at this splitter sector, and we are ready to make the required investment in this regard.
For farmers, the move is a positive one after waiting for years for such initiative.
Past 12 years, the challenge for us is that we don't see any tracing of farm input. We are so suffer because there's no where we can get a tractor to use for our farm.
There is a further commitment in the coming days of 8 billion naira for the acquisition of additional tractors and farm clearing equipment, along with another 2 billion naira for farm input support by the state government. From Aisu in Osun State, Femi Afariogun, Nta News.
More than 3,000 women, youths and persons living with disabilities across the 3 senatorial districts of Nasarawa State have benefited from federal government's palliatives to address some of their challenges. Minister of State Police Affairs Iman Suleiman Ibrahim performed the ceremony in Kwandere, Nasarawa, Egon and Karu. Chigili Magaji reports.
The items distributed include rice, fertilizer and cash. According to the minister, apart from the federal government's deliberate measures to ensure food availability, such as waiver on import duty for food items and empowerment of farmers, the distribution of the items is an immediate measure to alleviate the people's plight.
His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, for what he has given our people. He gave us some food items, rice and fertilizer, to come and distribute to the people of Nasarawa State. So on behalf of my people, we're in the first zone. I'm going to go today from zone to zone to make sure that this thing reaches the people.
Traditional rulers and other stakeholders in the areas appreciated the federal government for its intervention, saying it will go a long way to reduce the hardship facing their people.
We are hopeful that this administration is doing so much to see that the economic and social well-being of the citizens is taken to greater heights.
Some of the beneficiaries say the items will help improve their welfare and address their challenges of farm inputs.
My farm is almost dying, lack of fertilizer. Now that I have fertilizer, I can put it on my farm.
This rice that some of the students will be getting is going to be of good beneficiary to them, and just like we encourage them, not only them, they are going to share with their friends.
It could be recalled that recently, the federal government released more than 20 trucks of food items to each of the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT for similar purposes. Achigili Magaji, Nta News.
The federal government is collaborating with state commissioners for youth to create job opportunities for millions of Nigerian youths towards promoting long-term investments in their future development. Minister of Youth Development Jamila Ibrahim Bio said this during a consultative meeting with commissioners of youth developments from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Olayinka Uju reports.
This meeting is to engage with youth commissioners across the country, as well as build synergy in line with federal government's initiatives, such as Youth Investment Fund, Presidential Initiative for Youth Enterprise Clusters, and the ongoing review of the National Youth Policy that profile local solutions to national challenges. With 4 strategic areas of governance, skills, cultural and behavioral change, and human capital development at the heart of the meeting, Minister of Youth Development says to ensure youth benefit from the 110 billion naira Youth Investment Fund, mechanisms are already in place.
Robust monitoring and evaluation framework has been designed, and to ensure that loan recovery and of course risk management using clusters, we will be able to manage the risk that come with giving out facilities to young people. With the rate of recovery being very low.
For the commissioners, government sustainability approach of accountability, transparency, and monitoring are necessary.
One is all about inclusiveness, and number 2 is all about delivering the mandate to the entire youth.
Youth empowerment is important. When we empower our youth, we empower the nation.
The meeting also observed that out of the 12 billion naira Youth Investment Fund released by previous administration for youth empowerment, only 150 million naira have so far been recovered from beneficiaries. Olayinka Uju, Nta News.
The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and the Corporate Affairs Commission under the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investments are consolidating the Women Empowerment Program through subsidized registration. The partnership was reached during a meeting of the two organizations in Abuja. Ngozi Teknikio reports.
The partnership Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, explains is expected to facilitate the registration of the point-of-sale businesses for women under the 37,000 POS Empowerment Initiative of the ministry. Building the financial capacity of women to impact positively on their families is an initiative, she says, is more acceptable than advocacy.
We had delays because of the CAC certificate. There was a new policy that said before you can operate POS, you must register with CAC. So that took us a while to organize it because the women are vulnerable women. So there's no way they could have afforded that 10,500 to register. So the ministry had to write to Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment to assist these women as part of the grant the federal government is giving.
We are willing to take this across the nation. We're looking forward to next week, hopefully, if we can really work with the Corporate Affairs Commission, roll this out.
The ministry is seeking for concession to enable us achieve their registration. So we need some administrative approvals from our permanent, our mother ministry.
The 37,000 POS empowerment, among other initiatives of the ministry, is designed to improve the livelihood of women across all the states of the Federation. Ngozi Teknikio, Nta News.
Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunjiojo has ordered an immediate investigation into a disturbing video report on social media alleging that inmates at Fokang Custodial Center in Calabar are being subjected to inhumane treatment, including being served poorly cooked beans as breakfast. A statement from the Ministry of Interior indicates that the minister views this incident as a serious breach of the standards of care and dignity to which inmates are entitled, and has directed a comprehensive and urgent investigation into the matter, vowing to hold persons responsible accountable. Tunjiojo warns that any lapses in the quality of food, sanitation and welfare of inmates will not be tolerated, adding that the service must ensure inmates are treated with the dignity and respect they deserve. He promises that the investigation will be made public and necessary disciplinary action taken. This is the News Desk at 6 on Nta News 24. We'll take a break. More reports in a moment. Welcome back. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have foiled shipments of tramadol and codeine bound for outside the country in an intelligence-led operation in the Port Harcourt Port Complex and the Lagos Tinkan Seaport. Daniel Adiri reports that the NDLEA says the intercepted drugs total more than 31 million pills and bottles worth over 17 billion naira in street value.
Security agencies. 350,000 bottles of codeine-based syrup were recovered from 2 containers at the Tinkan port in Lagos on Thursday 29th and Friday 30th August. At the Port Harcourt Complex One, NDLA operatives equally intercepted a total of 447 cartons of tramadol containing 29,840,000 pills, as well as 380,000 bottles of codeine syrup from 3 containers. Also, another set of 3 containers containing 3,030 cartons of codeine syrup containing 554,600 bottles of the opioid were recovered. This brings the total bottles of codeine seized at One Rivers and Tinkan in Lagos to 1,284,600 bottles, worth 8,992,000 naira in street value, while the combined seizure of tramadol stood at 29,840,000 pills, valued at 8,940,000 naira. Meanwhile, a wanted ex-beauty queen Miss Aderonye Queen Christmas, also known as Miss Queen Oluwadamilola Aderonye, has surrendered to the Lagos command of the agency after about 8 months in hiding. She was declared wanted by the agency in January after she escaped from a Lekki, Lagos residence when NDLA operatives raided her apartment at Oral Estate, Lekki on Wednesday 24th January, following credible intelligence that she deals in illicit substances. The suspect was Miss Commonwealth Nigeria Culture 2015-2016 and founder of Queen Christmas Foundation. Recovered from her home during the search include 606 grams of Canadian loud, an electronic weighing scale, large quantities of drugs packed in plastics, a black RAV4 SUV marked Lagos KSF 872GQ, and her picture frame, among others. In his response to the latest seizures and arrests, Chairman and Chief Executive of the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired, commended all the officers and men of the PHPC, Tinkan, and the Special Operations Unit of the agency that had been working on the targeted containers for their vigilance and professionalism. He also applauded operatives in Lagos, Niger, Bauchi, and PHI, as well as other commands across the country for their diligence and balance in their drug demand reduction and drug supply reduction efforts.
President Bola Tinubu is in Beijing, China for an official visit. During the visit, the presidents will be engaging President Xi Jinping on how to improve bilateral cooperation between the two countries, after which a memorandum of understanding will be signed. Besides his meetings with Chinese business leaders, President Tinubu will visit Huawei Technologies and the China Rail and Construction Corporation as Nigeria looks to construct the Abuja-Ibadan rail line. State House correspondent Musma Damaha reports that the president, who is also the chairman, ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, will on Thursday, 5th September, participates in the opening ceremony forum on China-Africa cooperation at the Great Wall. Meanwhile, Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris is in Bali, Indonesia, to represent President Bola Tinubu as head of Nigeria's delegation to the second Indonesia-Africa Forum. Salihu Guanara gives us an update ahead of the event.
Indonesia are like two sides of the same coin with decades of friendly business relationships. Indonesia-African Forum is another opportunity for Nigeria to boost its networking for economic growth and create more jobs.
Nigeria is open for business. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been very consistent in that. He has said that all investors are welcome to Nigeria. We are putting a Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council to help businesses outside Nigeria to come and flourish in our country. Nigeria, more than ever before, is ready for businesses. Unlike before, you don't have fear that your monies or your capital could be trapped into the country. Once you come, you do our businesses, provided it is within our legal procedures. Whatever profit you make, you take out. So we encourage everyone, not just Indonesians, all investors around the world to come to Nigeria.
The President's delegation assured that the current administration remains resolute to promote even business opportunities by would-be investors in Nigeria.
This is part of the reason why we are here, to deepen that collaboration, to deepen that understanding, so that there will be a reciprocal business relationship between Nigeria and Indonesia. Nigerian businesses are expected to also come here. And like I said earlier, over 50 businesses of Indonesians are already operating in Nigeria. We want to see that reciprocated here. We want to see Nigerian businesses come here. At the end of the day, Nigeria and Indonesia will all be better for it.
In addition to the main event, Mohammed Idris assured that Nigeria's investment potential will equally feature prominently through bilateral engagement with relevant investors. In Bali, Indonesia, Saliu Guanara, Nta News.
The new state chairman of the PDP in Rivers State, Chukwuemeka Aaron, says the state working committee of the party will embark on reconciliation and the rebuilding of the party as the formidable political platform known to the people of the state. He said this shortly after being sworn in at the state party convention in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
The State Party Congress of PDP is the third in the series of congresses of the party to elect new executive members at the ward, local government, and at the state level. This followed the expiration of the tenure of the last executives. Aaron is re-elected at a time the party is experiencing internal crisis in the state. He said his re-election will help to reunite the party.
We are going to make PDP to be more and more strong and stronger in Rivers State. My first priority is reconciliation. I must reconcile those who are aggrieved. I will reach out. I'm one man that even those who are not there, they cherish me. I am going to bring them back to PDP.
Some of the delegates and chieftains commended party faithful for their peaceful disposition during the Congress and called on the leadership of the party to work for the success of the party in Rivers State.
We are happy. What this Congress only confirmed the negative impression that people on the social media have been carrying, that PDP is no longer on ground. PDP is the party to beat. My advice to the elected officers is to commence on aggressive reconciliation.
Everything went smooth, the attendance was heavy, and every worked out as planned. This is one of the state congresses that is very, very perfect, both in planning, execution, and implementation.
Delegates were drawn from the 23 local government areas of the state.
Of course, Chukwuemeka Aaron has been re-elected for the second time to pilot the affairs of the People's Democratic Party in Rivers State. And key concern to the Chukwuemeka Aaron-led state ESCO is the reconciliation of the aggrieved members of the party. He said that will be part of his first priority to rejig the fortunes of the party and build a stronger PDP in Rivers State. I'm Kingsley Amajiri, Nta News.
This is the news desk at 6 on Nta News 24. Here's a recap of our top stories. Federal government collaborates with states on creating job opportunities for millions of Nigerian youths.
Using clusters, we will be able to manage the risk that come with giving out facilities to young people.
Osun government distributes tractors to farmers to boost mechanized farming.
We have set our target at this critical sector, and we are ready to make the required investment.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepts narcotic drugs worth 17.9 billion naira in Lagos and Port Harcourt. Manyara Bridge in Mashegu local government area of Niger State, which links the north and southern parts of the country, has collapsed following heavy rainfall lasting several hours. Kabir Abdullahi reports that the disaster also washed away farmlands and rendered residents of the affected communities homeless.
The Manyara Bridge, located on New Busamoko Highway, is also a major link to about 50 other communities in both Mashegu and Magama local government area of Niger State. Farmlands and about 100 houses, 3 vehicles were washed away by the flood, including casualties. Chairman of one of the council areas affected by the natural disaster also paid an assessment visit to the area to empathize with the people of the affected communities.
So this is our gateway to and fro. Without this bridge, you can't go in, you can't come out. And a lot of business activities, economic activities are grounded.
The rain started about 2 a.m. all through the night till 12 p.m. on Friday. causing extensive damages to houses, building and infrastructure. We are hereby calling on both Niger State government and the federal government to intervene as a matter of urgency. I've been living in this community for almost 7 years. I have not seen a thing like this. The incident is very devastating. Meanwhile, staff of the State Management Emergency Agency and other volunteers are already on ground to ascertain the number of casualties and level of destruction. In Yobusa, Kabir Abdullahi, NTA News.
Well, that brings us to the end of the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.